Hey everybody, my name is Irby Chatelain. I'm the founder of this great Facebook page, Louisiana Families for Louisiana High School Sports and Extracurricular Activities. I wanted to take a moment, kind of introduce myself to the group, tell you guys why I started this, address a couple of problems that we're having right now as a group, and then give a little insight and vision of what we can possibly do as parents, concerned families, concerned friends for our children here in the upcoming school year. So let me first start by myself. Irby Chatelain, I was born in the New Orleans area. I grew up in California, that's where I went to high school. And then I moved back to New Orleans in my early 20s. And had some very interesting things I've done so far in my life. I am currently an employee benefits specialist. I've been in the employee benefits world for about 15 years. And I have a total of 5 children. I have a stepdaughter who's 28 years old, beautiful young woman, great career, very smart, doing wonderful. I have 4 other children of my own. And my oldest son is 18. He played high school sports all his years in high school over at Lakeshore High School in Mandeville. I live on the North Shore. And he wrestled, played football, and the things that he learned in sports are very much like what your children have. He learned how to win. He learned how to lose like a good competitor. He learned the disciplines and what hard work does and how it pays off. He learned how to set goals and then crush those goals. And because of high school sports, my son is now a United States Marine, top of his class in North Carolina right now, getting ready to be deployed to Okinawa, Japan. And we have nothing but pride in our hearts for him and what he's chosen to do with his life. I have 3 other children, though, that are currently in high school. One of them is going to be a senior this year. He's wrestled all 3 years at Lakeshore High. And he will, his goal is to place first in the state tournament this coming year. And so that's where this has all come up for me is, we were actually last week coming back from North Carolina to visit my son, and my wife shot me a text. And the text said about the letter that Senator Cleo Fields sent to the Bessie board. Most of you guys know about that, and most of you guys were furious just like I was, and that's what fueled this. So I immediately, while driving home from North Carolina, picked up the phone and called my Bessie board representative, Mr. Jim Growley. Very great man. He listened, he talked to me, he answered the phone. He agreed with me. He felt about this the same way I did, and gave me a few ideas of what to do. I then picked up the phone and called another friend of mine, a lobbyist who is a part of this group. She's put a few videos out here. Her name is Ronelle Nolan. She is helping us from a pro bono level. I did some lobbying with her years ago when healthcare reform came out. She and I and a bunch of other professionals like ourselves went out to Washington, D.C., and we actually lobbied and got some change that correctly fixed a few things that the Affordable Care Act didn't do right. I don't want to go into details now, but we effected great change, not only for Louisiana, but for the whole country. So she knows what she's doing, and I know a little bit about what I'm doing here. Very, very, very little. So her first piece of advice was, why don't you start up a page? And I did. In fact, I was driving. Actually, I wasn't driving. My son was driving. I was in the passenger seat. And I put this page together about 8 o'clock at night. About 9 o'clock, we had a couple hundred. The next morning, we had 1,000. And we have gone to over 17,000 members, it's mind-blowing. And I really started it first to find out if there was any other parents out there that was just as frustrated as I am and wanted to do something. And so you guys have been amazing. I'm humbled, I'm impressed, I'm blown away, and I'm not the only one. But to know that there's so many parents that have the same passion for sports and their children, that's what this is all about, okay? So what are some things we've accomplished so far as a group? One, the sheer size within 1 week of getting over 17,000 is mind-blowing to some legislators and to other leaders and just to every parent alone, that this many kids, parents would come out and at least join something like this. I do want everybody to know that there are certain legislators that are already a part of this group, and I welcome them, and I'm glad that you guys are here. And of course, I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark that those legislators are actually on our side, and they are fighting for the same things we want. And that's really just to see our kids have the opportunity to play and do what they love to do so that they can become better citizens, more grounded citizens, and productive leaders in our communities in the future. Now, a couple of things that have happened that we're not too happy about, and we're gonna make some changes, and I'm letting everybody know that now. And you gotta forgive my eyes. This is one of those cameras that's on this side, but I'm looking at me. Anyway, we're starting to get a little bit too political in this post, this page, and part of it's my fault, okay? As this week has gone by, I have been trying to figure out what's the angle to fix this. It's not just the governor, it's just not the Bessie board, it's just not Cleo Fields, it's not just the Louisiana High School Athletics Association. It's all of the above, right? And then it's also tied to COVID numbers. And I did put a couple posts out there asking, hey, what do you guys think? Do you think these numbers are skewed? And the biggest post we ever had was that one. Over 300, almost 400 people posted, you think they're skewed. And I have to tell you, honestly, I think they are too, all right? But that's not, but we can't keep posting that stuff, okay? It's not gonna help anything, that's why. I did it as a kind of a poll to see what we thought, to see if I was right, if my intuition was right, and I think it was. And again, I do believe there are stories all around. You guys have posted them. I've posted them. They're problems. But I don't believe that's a problem that this group can solve. And I want to just focus on things that you and I as a group can solve. Okay? And so that's what I want to talk about today. But for the political post, we're going to ask everybody to cool it down. Me and my admins on this page are going to make a few changes. So we're going to allow everybody to post, but admins are going to have the opportunity to have to approve those posts. And one reason is because of the political nature. We were getting a little too heated. We didn't want that. Two, the duplication in posts. Like many of us have sent the same links to websites. And so it's just a little bit too much. So we're going to clean that up over the weekend. If you post something, it's got to be approved by me or one of my administrators of the page. And we're going to just leave it at that for right now, okay? I know some of you have voiced concerns about that, and we wanted to address those right away. Sorry we didn't get to it faster, but we have real life jobs like everybody else does here. I'm not a fully paid lobbyist. I'm not a politician. I'm a hardworking husband, hardworking father, and I spend as much time with my family as I can. Plus, I'm running my own business, so we're trying our best. Please have patience with us. Where do we go from here? That's now the new question for me, and I'm asking myself that. I've been approached by quite a few people this week who want to help and who want to see us affect some change that will really benefit our children, because that's what this is all about. This is not a political thing that we're trying to do. This is not a COVID thing that we're trying to do here. We don't want to see our children miss out on this school year. And kind of to finish the why of why that's important to me is because my son that's a senior, this is his last year to wrestle. Last year, he placed 4th in the state tournament. He had a great season last year. But since that season was over, February of this year, he's been training for this upcoming wrestling season. He's losing weight. He's eating properly. He's bulking up. He sent me a picture yesterday that he's offering me now bodybuilding lessons because he's so buffed out now. He's swole, as they say. Someone could say he's all swole because all he wants to do is prepare to be the best he can be for this upcoming 2020-2021 wrestling season. And I know all of you guys have those same stories, and you've posted them, and I got to tell you, me and my wife and the other administrators on this page have watched those videos, those pictures, and read them, guys, we're with you. We're 100%. That's what this is for. And so we want you to continue doing that. But where can we go from here? That's where I want to talk about for the remainder of this video. And so we have a voice. We have a voice, but we need to learn how to use it as a group, okay? To get 17,000 people on the one page in 1 week, it's mind-blowing. It really is. And everybody who's watching this video, you should be patting yourself on the back for that. That's a powerful thing you've done. Now, the question is, where do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with this page? All right. I want it to affect change now. We've got an army of volunteers that we can actually affect some change and turn some heads. But do you want to do that? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to post pictures and hope that our legislators will actually do something that's right. And I hope the same thing, but I don't trust it to be that way. And again, this is not a Republican Democrat thing, okay? But it is political because they're politicians who are making these decisions, just like Senator Cleo Fields did. I'm just thankful that the Bessie board did not agree with him to shut it down. Now, so do you want to just have this page as a page to just put your pictures and say, hey, I hope? Or do we want to organize ourselves just a little bit and do a few simple actions that can actually make noise in all of the people who are making decisions for our kids' future school year and seasons? I'm hoping that's you, because that's where I am. Now that this has happened, that's where I am. So I've been approached by media. I've been approached by politicians, leaders, other leaders, all throughout the state. And we've really thought about and talked about different things, like could we do a rally or a protest? I don't want to do a protest, okay? There's too much protest going on. I don't like the sound of that at this moment. I was very much into a rally, but I don't want to do a rally. And here's why. Because we do a rally, and look, I had some amazing ideas come to me, and from all these people that are reaching out, amazing ideas. But we do a rally, COVID numbers goes up, guess who gets the blame? Us. And I don't want that. We're trying to solve problems, not make more problems. I would like to do, someone made a suggestion to do some radio commercials, and we can distribute them across the whole state of Louisiana to all the different genres of radio, you know, from everything to everything across. And we can do that. I can't afford to do that on my own, and we'd have to ask for some monies. One idea we had was we do a GoFundMe account, and we ask everybody to put in $1. $1. That would put us about $17,000. We could go make a couple commercials and pay to have them distributed through the whole state. I like that idea. I actually would love to hear from you guys, the members of this, about that idea. But here's something that I know we can do that, but it won't make a change. There has to be a reason for doing those commercials. And the more I've spoken with Ronell, our pro bono lobbyist, and I've spoken with other members of the media, I think this is going to be one of the best things for us to do. But it's got to be an organized, concentrated effort. Everybody has to do it. Okay? And it's my belief that if you join this page, you want to do something for our children. And you see the importance for the physical, the mental, the attitude, the development of our kids, the development of future leaders of our state and country. Sports is it, right? We all know that. And I think if you're on this page, you know that. So if you really want to affect change, we do have to do something together. All right? Anytime change happens with politics, especially going against the grain like we're trying to right now, we got to come together. All right? And it's got to be organized. So here's our thoughts. When we were trying to do some lobbying years ago for the Affordable Care Act, we really wanted to affect one piece of that legislation. And it had to do with how insurance companies ranked their expenses because it was hitting the brokers who write that health insurance. It was taking their commissions away. And then if you take that commission away, well, then people aren't going to be serviced right. And so we did, and there's a whole lot deeper. I don't want to go deeper than that, but we successfully made some changes. So back then what we did was we blew up Mary Landrieu, who was our senator back then. We blew up her fax machine. We did. We had people all around this great state of Louisiana fax her information about what we're doing and why. Larry Landrieu got on board and she co-wrote a piece of legislation which fixed the problem that we were trying to go after with that whole healthcare reform legislation. We didn't repeal it. That wasn't what that wasn't our fight. Our fight was to make sure that the market and the systems would work properly. Mary Landrieu helped with that because we all spoke as one voice, all at the same time. We didn't hold rallies. We didn't hold protests. We did what I'm going to suggest for us to do now. And that is for us next week to send out an email and a phone call strategically one day each week. All right. So what we want to do is on Monday, we want you guys to send out an email and a phone call to your local Bessie board member. And I will post it on this page. Just Monday, one email, one phone call. And the message is, it's not going to be, we're trying to fight COVID. It's not going to be, we're trying to change this or that, or move us to phase 4, which is brand new for all of us. It's simply do whatever you got to do to let our kids play. And the slogan needs to be, open up the schools, let them play. Whatever you got to do, you're in control. We demand, open up the schools, let them play. Right? Monday, it's your Bessie board member. Tuesday, the governor. So Tuesday morning, we'll put a post early in the morning with the email address and the phone number. And we need everybody to do it. Because if 100 of us do it, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't. We have 17,000. We can make waves if we do it together. But if one person does one day, one person does another day, that does not turn anyone's heads in Baton Rouge or Washington, D.C. Okay, and those are the people who are making the decisions, putting the things into place that affect our kids. You want to affect them? We all do it together. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, your state legislator, your state senator, and your state representative. If we all called and sent an email, imagine 17,000 emails. That turns heads. That makes people look at this direction and say, wow. On Thursday, one email, one phone call to the LHSAA office. And on Friday, one email, one phone call to your U.S. congressman and our and a U.S. senator. That's it, okay? If you're committed to doing something, and I mean at the minimum, we're talking one email, one phone call a day for the next 5 days starting on Monday. You're committed to doing this, I want you to reply to this post, simply put, I'm in. I need to know if I really have support on this, okay? If you guys are just here because you want to paste pictures, that's fine. I'll leave the page up. Do it. I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to go back building my business, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed, but I don't have a lot of hope in that. All right? But if this page, if all the members of this page don't want to make a phone call and an email, you're fine. But I'm not going to keep fighting if we're not all together. I believe that together we can make a lot of change and we can save the school and seasons for our kids. But if we can't come together, it's up in someone else's hands. It's out of our control now. I want it in our control. That's why I did this. So I'm looking. We have 17,000 people. I'm looking for 5,000 to text on this post. I'm in. That's what I'm looking for. 5,000 people. I'm not asking for any money. I'm not asking you to drive. I'm not asking you to do anything except you're committed to sending one email and making one phone call each day of the week next week. All right? I'm gonna leave this post up for the whole weekend. If you're in, I would ask you to get more people in. All right? I'm looking for 5,000. That will tell me we're really serious about this. If we're not really serious, then we're just gonna let the wind blow our kids' futures wherever they are. And I really don't want that. So 5,000 is my number. That's what I'm looking for. All right? I'm gonna just end this by saying it this way. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for everything you've done for our kids. I really hope that we can move forward and we can do some change and we can tell the legislators of our great state how we feel about our kids' sports and extracurricular activities. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching this video. We pray that God blesses you and your families and our great state and our great country. Thank you all for everything you do. And I will talk to you guys soon and hopefully see the replies coming in that we have at least 5,000 members that are in.